And each year, I think it probably saved us 3-person years of effort. My name is Howie Katz. I'm a software architect at Penumbra. Penumbra is a healthcare company. We're a public company. They came up with this idea of let's use virtual reality, because in virtual reality, we can take a patient out of this dreary facility, right? Put them in some beautiful space and get them to play games, because who doesn't like games? And by getting them to move in certain ways, essentially they're doing their therapy. What I started was sort of working on what are we going to show the therapist? So there was the user interface on a tablet to pretty much decide what activities I want the patient to do. But then there was also, okay, we have all this data coming in, and what are we going to do with it? So there was a project where we can just stream it up to the cloud, and we also want to report on it, obviously. Hasura figured out a lot more. It wasn't just the GraphQL layer, it was the security layer. And working in healthcare where the laws are somewhat draconian, if you will, the need for audit trails and SOC 2 compliance, just like Hasura thought of this. And with Hasura, it was like, oh, I just want to access the data. Well, the security has already been configured, so I can actually query the data in GraphQL knowing that it's secure, that I can't access anything I'm not allowed to because, I logged in with a certain role and I'm only going to get the data I'm allowed to see, or, certainly allowed to, update through a mutation. And that was such a pleasure. It was like, wow, I don't have to think about all these different things because it's already been thought of. And what's great is you can't make a mistake if you do it that way. Like you can't forget to put an index in the table. It'll suggest, if you're missing a foreign key, it knows because it actually, this was on Postgres, and Postgres has metadata already in the database. So it kind of knows hey, maybe there's a relationship here. Let's say the developers of Hasura, a whole team that was responsible for doing all the grunt work, and they never once wrote a bug. Hasura actually always worked in production and never went down. We never had an issue. But their database schema code was flawless. The GraphQL code was flawless. So just how much that saved as far as freeing people up to do the actual, application work, our core business, which was, this clinical application, that was enormous. Having done a little finance work, people just have to deal with things that go wrong and reconcile, problems. There's huge teams devoted to that, and we just didn't need it.